Dr. Akintoye Akindele is coming up next. And this for me was one of the many million little miracles because we have never met in person. I need to put it out there. I'm sure this is the first time he's probably seeing me, but he heard about this program and he chose to say yes. And that for me was such a confirmation that I was not on my own on this journey because you cannot you can't really just understand. I don't know what part of the world he is right now. That's how busy he is, but he's here. And he has a word for us. The first time I got to know about him, the word changing the narrative, the African narrative. If you know Dr. Akintoye, you know he's all about changing the African narrative. And he was such a perfect choice for the theme of this event. And he said yes. And so, comments, in-house audience, please help me make welcome Dr. Akintoye Akindele to the Centrestage Live Conference 2021. Oh my gosh. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Ma. Thank you for having me. Thank you, the future.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm very well, sir. I'm very well. I'm very well.
Um, Good afternoon, everybody. Somehow, the universe, my colleagues, my friends, and fate has conspired to put me here to speak behind two amazing people. Um, I spent some time listening to um, Coach Beams, who happens to have my name as a middle name, Akintoye, and also then sat through the amazing speech by my sister here. I think it's EBA, if I'm not wrong, about nation building. And again, somehow I've been given the mandate of being the keynote speaker. I don't know what that means, what I've done to deserve that. But I humbly ask that you indulge me for me to bore you a bit about a few things by the next 30 minutes. So I'm going to speak about a few things today, and I'll touch on a few things. I'll touch on Africa. I'll touch on our best asset on the continent, our women, our girls. I'll touch on entrepreneurship, and I'll touch on how they all come together. Very important for me. So let's talk about Africa. Um, I'm one of those people that think that this whole African narrative thing is not. It's not a buzzword. It's not um, something that you read about or hear about. African rising is not something that people say or a catch line or a payoff line. African rising, African narrative changing, African anything is the future. It's as simple as that. From Bible to the Quran to science to sociology, the Africa will rise. The Africa is the future. It's scientific. So before I talk about our great women, our entrepreneurship, let's spend some time and talk about Africa. First is Africa is not our name. Louis Africanus, who said he discovered us, how can he discover mother of mankind? Africa is mother of mankind, so he cannot discover us. So Africa is not our name. Africa was named after Louis Africanus, who come when I said this to cover Africa, a Portuguese discoverer. So first is your identity is very important. If you search Google for oldest name for Africa, and I still think Google does not have enough, Google cannot even be the answer to it because we predate everything known. If you search Google, Google will say to you that Africa's old name was Alkebulan, which means mother of mankind. I believe that description of Alkebulan, what it means, mother of mankind, speaks to the heritage of what Africa is. Africa is the past. Africa is the present. Africa is the future. Africa created the world. The world we live in today, the human beings you see. Actually, every human being in the world today is African because it's very simple. Scientifically, the evolution between our older ancestors to our more recent ancestors, the Homo erectus, about 10 million years ago, to human beings today, happened on the continent. The oldest human formation found, bone found, between 7 and 12 million years old, was found on the continent, nowhere else in the world. So we were human beings, we were humans first before anywhere else in the world. We created civilization, we created the world. Migration, the first migration out of Africa happened 2 million years ago when our forefathers, the Homo erectus, decided to leave and search for new territories. And they left. That first migration happened outside Africa via the Horn of Africa into Southeast Asia and into Australia. That was the first movement of humanoids, Homo erectus, out of Africa to somewhere else, to Southeast Asia, Papua New Guinea, into Australia. The next set that happened about 12,000 years ago when they moved towards Middle East, Europe, and maybe 20,000 years ago towards America. So first, as you can see, we created human beings in the world. It's not because we are special, because God created the world and God created us first. Adam was black. Jesus Christ was black. Check the Bible Revelations. His skin was darker than hue. His hair was thick as wool. So the Zeus, the Jewish god, the Greek god in the Greek mythology, check what Zeus means. It's black. So what are you saying to me? The history is all black. Last 500 years, we've lost our right to understand where we're coming from. We lost our mind by forgetting where we're coming from. Our pride as mother of mankind, our pride as people who created the world, our pride as the world. We are the world. Why do you think we have the least disasters in the world? Why do you think the 70% of the world resources come from is domesticated in Africa? Cocoa, 80% of cocoa in the world is Africa. Cobalt, all your phones, all the batteries, this communication today that we're having with each other is made because cobalt can create batteries, can create phones, and we can do this. So without this African resource, there will be no telecoms or technology. The fashion you all wear, what I'm wearing, cotton, you know where it comes from. The jewelry, you know where it comes from. Crude. So we have the world resources, most of it. We have like no disasters. We are the world. We create the world. We roamed the earth as king and queens millions of years before Europe was formed, before US was formed. We gave the world science. We gave the world medicine. We gave the world a narrative. We supported the world by encouraging migration to other regions. We encouraged migration to other regions. We supported them. We enabled them. We gave them agriculture. We gave them science. We gave them everything so that other people then are able to exist because Africa allowed it to. We are chosen, we are God's people. Whether you like it or not, the rise of them bones in Ezekiel, people say it's about the Jewish nation. I'm not saying it's not. Who says it's not about Africa as rising again? Africa never sank. We just had a brief 500 years of memory loss, where we then forgot about where we're coming from, our history, where we roamed, where we had street lights before Europe had lights. We had street lights. Benin Kingdom has street lights all over it. We had science. If you go to Amazon today, because organic brush, that's what we grew up with. It's the stick, a tree or stem that we used to brush our mouth, that we gave for free, that Amazon now sells for $10 or $20 per stick. So Africa is the past. But something happened to us 100 years ago. We sold our future. We sold ourselves. Whether you believe the stories, because this is part of storytelling. Whether you believe the story that I've read in the books that we sold ourselves for mirrors, for guns. Problem is we stopped being our brother's keepers. Africa was formed by being his brother's keeper. And when we stopped being our brother's keeper, we started letting strangers in and started leaving ourselves alone. And by that happening, Africa started letting other people control its own narrative. And that narrative then meant that they could then either take us as slaves or either colonize us because we let the door in for them to come in, a house we built ourselves. So you cannot blame anybody for slavery or colonialism. We have to blame ourselves. We have to own it. We own it. We did this. We robbed ourselves of our history, of our heritage, of our right. We are the wrong. We are at fault. No white man did it to us. Because in the first place, the white man is black. My man left here to go and be white because of weather and move and came back and took what it is. It's ours. Okay? Slave trade was not the first time Africans started migrating. Like I just told you, 2 million years ago, we started migrating out of the world. So people started moving. We're moving for new territories. We're moving for trade. We're moving for a lot of things before slave trade happened. So slave trade was not, Africans have been moving, we populated the world. So if we're populating the world, slave trade only happened because we were forced to do it. We're forced to do it. Because we, as Africans of old or new, allowed it to happen. 500 years then, so we lost all the edge we had in science, in technology, in arts, in literature, all that. But guess what? Our brothers, the Westerns, Europeans, who took what we had, they're giving it back to us through technology. With technology right now, we are not able to talk and connect better. This can happen. This communication with anybody around the world can happen. We are aware. We now know who we are. We now know our history. We know what the future represents. Let me now tell you about that future. I've told you about the past. I'm going to blur the midpoint where we lost our mind. The future is black. The future is black and the future is feminine. Like it or not, it's not whether Dr. Akindele says so. Why is the future black? Why is it feminine? So I'll tell you two things that you need to know. And how does it tie to Africa? First is, if Africa is the mother of mankind, if Africa is the womb of the world, if Africa created the whole world, that means Africa is fertile. Fertility is black. Fertility is feminine. So fertility, Africa is feminine. That's why we have more women entrepreneurs than men in the continent. That's why we have faster growth rates on women adopting education and everything. Future is black. Future is feminine. Africa is feminine. Africa is the future. 1 point. We have an average age of 19.7 on the continent. Matter of fact, about 60% of us are less than 35. We have a growth rate. Europe has in the next 20 years, 2 in 5 in working population will be black, will be African. 2 in 5. By the next 80 years, next 80 years, very important. Very important. Africa's working population, not African population, African working population will be higher than the entire Europe together. Entire Europe together. Africa's working population, not schools, not old. Africa's working population will be higher than the entire Europe together. So Africa will be the workforce of the world. 1. Africa will still have our resources to feed the world on agri, to clothe the world in cotton, to keep the world in jewelry, to fuel the world with our gas. I can go on. So we have young people Because of technology right now that our brothers, our European brothers, are giving back to us, we can now connect better. We can learn. We can skill up, which we are. And that's very, very important because somehow people have assumed skill with education. No, man, no, sir, it's not correct. Skilling is about acquiring skills that can enable you become productive, becoming economically active. Africa's population is 70% informal in the workforce, or 80% informal in the workforce. That informal workforce is now becoming the new gig economy. You don't have to go to school to be a great fashion stylist or an influencer or a mechanic or a chef or anything. The sectors that we have that make Africa economy, our GDP is not a true representation of Africa. It is not possible because everywhere you go around Africa, from the tailor making your clothes, to the guy doing your tires, your vulcanizers, to the bus conductor, to the influencer, they make money on a gig economy basis. That's not captured in our GDP. If you adjust our GDP by our true money supply, our true economy, Africa is as big as the US economy-wise. So we're not a poor country. We're not a poor country. Our heritage has been rich. We are still rich. But just because it's been defined by GDP and some standard, and they've removed away a lot of our people who are in the informal sector, who contribute a lot to our economy, the market women there, the gardener, your driver, your talent, your tailor, your makeup artist, your influencer, all of them are not captured fully. So we are not poor, we are big, as that economy I've just told you. And we are young, we are acquiring skills, we are connecting, we are connecting, we are skilling, we are scaling, we are connecting with each other. So new skill, we are producing beauty, we are consuming again. So now what we are consuming, once we can connect what we are consuming to what we are producing, boom. Before, up till this period, everything was being imported around Africa. Now we've started small industries that are producing what we are consuming. And once that happens, you connect the dots. We started producing gradually with kind of technology, which is modular in nature, which is small, everything. We are connecting. We are no more a continent. We are not going to be a country. Because who chose the borders for our countries? How can Berlin Conference define and say that Nigeria, you end here, Togo, you start here? But one people, the former Oyo Empire went as far as Senegal. The former Ashanti Empire went as far as Cameroon. We have empires that cross other regions. So really, we are one people. We are one people. We are one people. Take a child out of Soweto and take that child to Accra, you find the same person. Take a child out of Kenya, in Nairobi, and take a child, drop that child in Senegal. You cooperate. We are one people. So we are connecting, we are scaling, and we now know where we are coming from. We know our history. In a world where we are still now growing, we have the fastest growth rate in terms of population growth. We have the best in terms of land and resources. We have the youngest people who will form the workforce of the world. We have the best resources that will fill the world's battery, food, telephone, textile, juices. And we know that. So Africa is the future. By population, is the future. No matter what China does, and that will still be the future, will be more than China number-wise. No matter what anybody does, we will still innovating. Do you realize it took us now of that future that I've just told you just now? Women have not been active in our story. We've kept our women who built the continent with their men. If you go and read about the hunter-gatherer civilizations of the past, women actually went hunting. So if you look at the animal kingdom, look at the lion or lion family. It's the lioness that goes to hunt along with the lion and then divide it up. So our women have played a role in economic value creation since mankind was formed. But for some reason, in the last 100 years again, we started keeping our women in-house. We didn't engage them. We didn't empower them. We didn't support them. How can you have 400 million SMEs on the continent in Africa, of which more than half of them are women, only access only 3% of the capital for growth? It's not possible. So we've gotten here without our women getting on the table full time. Now we are about to unleash our women on the world. Our beautiful, smart, hardworking, creative, dogged, caring, nurturing asset class will then come in a future that is pure African, that is young, that is resource rich, that's knowledgeable, will then come in and charge that future. So, and again, there'll be more women than men in the future. We take by birth rates. So more women who are black, more women who are black and working, more women who are black and working from Africa. The future is feminine, future is black, future is African. It took us, the first African unicorn was formed in 2019. Between 2019 and now, we have 9 unicorns in 2 years. Yes, it's small. Globally, there are 833 unicorns. A unicorn is a company that achieved 1 billion status from a startup. The first one happened in 2019. In 2 years, we now have 9 of them. From our own research at platform, there'll be 20 more in next 2 years. Now take our beautiful men abroad, our men abroad in diaspora. If you add what they're doing to it, about 40. So look at this. Our growth, that 833 unicorn, after they were 1%, in 2 years will be about 2-3%. We're playing catch up. The African narrative is the biggest catch up story ever told. Nobody will ever tell it again. It's the regaining of what is ours. Imagine the future is black, the future is feminine, the future is us, and we are playing catch up. We need everything. We need clothes, we need shoes, we need jewelry, we need phones, we need bags, everything. Now we start producing what we consume for ourselves and exporting. We start learning more skills. We start empowering our people. We stop training our women to be defensive, but to be women they are. We stop raising our girls not to be dominated, but to partner and collaborate with the male part. Because that's what it is. We raise our women. No, why is it that when we are raising our daughters, we say them to stay in the house and cook and let the boys go and play football? We are giving them a disadvantage because that boy that goes to play football learns to fall down, get up. He learns to be successful by failing. So from a young age, we start giving boys an advantage on how to succeed by letting them fail, fall down, get injured. It's called controlled chaos, controlled failure. Controlled failure leads to success. Repeated failure leads to success. That boy from a young age goes out, plays football, gets beaten, comes home, goes out again. After a while, he can take on life and take on risk. However, our daughters, we protect them. Don't go out, don't do this, be the good person. Why? We should give them the same exposure. Let them make mistakes early. Yes, they'll be exposed to a lot more dangers. I heard the pitch. A lot can happen. But guess what? We can't shield anybody from anything. That's the world we live in. There's something called law of wasted effort. It means that even lions understand this. Even animals understand it. They will keep trying. They will try a lot. Every effort you make will not contribute into results. But you just need 2% of them. The law of wasted effort says that you keep trying, but for example, when a lion is chasing a deer, the lion only gets a deer 2 out of 10 times. But every time he didn't get the deer, he goes back. He learns. Why didn't I get it? That's failure. He repeated failure, he gets the next one. And after he gets the next one, he doesn't make another assumption. So we now have that chance to train the best part of us, our women, for the future that is black, that is young, that is for them. So what are you waiting for? Anything, your worst place you can be right now is where you are in your life right now. It's where you are right now in your life. That your worst place. It can't get worse than this. I promise you. Because until you take a chance, until you are curious, curiosity breeds effort. Effort breeds attempt. Attempt breeds failure. And failure breeds success. It's sequential. It's causal. You can never be succeed having not failed. Go and ask Bill Gates, ask Mark Zuckerberg, the right brother. Do you know that Van Gogh thought was supposed to be a failure? He killed himself. He didn't sell. He only sold one painting in his lifetime. Only one painting in his lifetime, Van Gogh. Only one. And he sold it to his friend's sister. He killed himself for being a failure. 100 years after, in 1990, his artwork sold for $45 million. So you cannot fail. Failure is an impossible statement. Even when you die, you can still succeed because your artwork lives after you. If you spend your life doing what matters, if you like creating the future, creating what you believe in your passion, in your goals, in your ambition. Forget the time frame, forget the time zone, you will succeed. Why are you measuring yourself based on other people's yardstick? Success is defined by only you, your terms, your rules, your game. Let nobody tell you whether you succeed or fail. It is not possible. Let nobody define it for you. Not your parent, not your wife, not your son. You came alone, you're going to go alone. It's your rules. Galileo Galilei was killed. A very man who was successful, who invented thermometer. He was killed because he said the world was round. They killed him, isolated him. He didn't do. 400 years after, the Roman Catholic Church, Pope had to apologize for killing him for doing that. Guys, he was successful 400 years after he died. So who says failure is possible? Failure is an impossible statement. Until the world exists, for as long as the world exists, the world is moving, failure does not exist. Failing exists. Failing means that you are making effort. Failing is learning. Failing is growing. Failing is progressing. So you can fail. You're allowed to fail. Allow yourself to fail. Give yourself the right to fail. Stop trying to impress people. Stop trying everything that you've been told. It's a lie. You've gone to school to learn nothing. You were born with life skills on your own. How many of you have used anything you have learned in school? Zero. Everything you learn by thinking. Allow yourself to fail, because by failing, you learn what doesn't work. Failing actually means that you succeeded. Failing is a synonym for progress, because when you fail, you know what does not work. You progress. How can progress be failure? How can? How can? Each time you make an effort and it doesn't work, you've just learned one way of not achieving your desired result. Not that you failed.
Oh my God.
Each time you try something that does not work, you just make one effort. You just learned one way of not achieving your desired result. So what people call failure is desired result not being attained. It doesn't mean it's progress. It's an impossible word. Failure is an impossible word. Failing is progressing. Failing is learning. So if you don't want to, and progressing leads to succeeding. How will you succeed if you don't fail? Give yourself the right to fail, to be curious, to attempt. Take it. Do not ask for approval from anybody. It's your life. Give it to you. Whether you are married or you're not married, I don't care. Nobody cares who you are. You can't be defined by your social status. You can't be defined by your status. I don't care. You need to live the life that God gave you in your mind, knowing that you are beautiful, you are smart. Forget anybody. What are you saying? Even people that don't have hands do marathon. People that don't have eyes. The guy that gave the braille was blind. I mean, your mind, for as long as you have a mind, that means you have vision. That means you have God. That means you are created. You are special. You know you are special. If you know you believe in yourself, knowing that you are special. Now, so look at it. Now, see how special you are. They see that you're not only special, you are special in the continent that is special. That's what are you waiting for? Being black is not color. Being black, because the whole world is African. Being black is a vibe. Being black is a movement. Black is a vibe. Black means 5 things. Be your brother's keeper. Be a black people. L, loyalty to yourself, to your vision. Authenticity. Be authentic, be real, be unique, be different. Celebrate your difference. C, capacity. Learn many things, know many things, be able to do a lot of things at the same time. Capacity. And K, knowledge. That's what black means. BLACK. Black. Black is a vibe. Black is the soul. Black is the past. Black is the future. Black is feminine. Black is the only way. Thank you, everybody.
Oh my goodness. We can't even keep still. The comments, I can't even keep up with the flow. Black is a vibe. Thank you, sir, for this outburst of fire that inspires. Whoosh! Thank you, thank you, thank you. The in-house studio, Dr. Akintoye. They can't stop. Okay. Dr. Akintoye, I heard about you, but it's different to experience the enigma that you are. And I am so honored. Honestly, I have to do this, sir. I have to go on my knees. I have to go on my knees and say thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for not just saying yes, but for coming on and just shattering our mindsets. Because when we came up with the slogan, our stories, our gifts, own it, it was from a place of you can't even give what you don't own. And so you came on and you gave us ownership. You gave us the power back. And I'm telling you, and I'm promising you on behalf of everyone here, I just saw this comment. Oh my God. This comment, what a time to love black. This is what you've done to us. It is a vibe, and this is the movement, and we are grateful. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, sir. On behalf of the entire team, they can't even keep calm. We have to beg them to keep quiet. This is the live audience. Social media, I don't even know. The report is everywhere. It's fired up. But we're grateful that you chose us on a day like this. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. You haven't heard the last from us, Dr. Akintoye. You haven't heard the last from us.
Questions for people. If you have questions, I have like 5 more minutes or 10 for questions. Otherwise, I can go.
Okay, questions. Okay, great. So I'm just going to go through some of what is on here. If you've got any question for Dr. Akintoye, please put it in. He's got a few minutes for us. Thank you, sir. Any question, comments? I could just wash hands. Let me drop the comments here. Thank you, Dr. Akintoye. You have shattered the ceiling. Black is a vibe. Guys, put it in here. Thank you, doctor. Just pour the thoughts. There is so much to share. Revelation. Wow, explosive. You have a vision. You are black. Being black is a vibe. Bring it on, everyone. Oh, my goodness. Someone said, I am beyond wowed. I'm getting so many comments, so many messages. B for be bold, loyalty. Is there a question here? How do you make Africans know their identity? That's a question from Bemi Babatunde, sir. How do you make Africans know their identity?
Each one teach one. As you hear it, teach one. Nation building is all our job.
Yes, sir.
No government in the world has built a nation. Not US or Europe. People build. Yes, people build. We are so lost as people. That is amazing. Each one pick one person to build and create a ripple. When you throw a stone in the water, it causes ripples, or it could be a wave. Choose what it's going to be. Each one teach one. By each time, each one teach one. Change. We are the change we desire. We are the change we want. Nobody will do it for us. Why should they do it for us? Do you realize that we complain so much about what is unimportant? Government only contributes 3% to Nigerian economy. The main items are controlled by all of us here. So we are complaining about what cannot change the narrative. Do you realize that if each of you in this room take 5,000 naira a month, now just 5,000 naira a month, and contribute to a small fund, you send somebody to university every year, 5K a month. Tuition is 25K. Accommodation is 25K. That guy tells you to pay his school fees and need to pay get a place to stay. You also. So without even saying you're feeding him, because you find a way to 5,000 naira a month can send an undergrad to college. 5K a month can teach a tailor how to be a fashion designer. 5K a month can teach a cook how to be a chef. 5K a month can teach a mechanic how to get his own freedom and how to do mechanic. 5K a month can help him organize. We are also silly. We have substituted common sense for knowledge,
Ooh.
and that is annoying. Education is not common sense. Common sense, the world of common sense. Do you realize that almost everybody in this room, you have savings in bank accounts and in treasury bills? It's insane. It's insanity. What you have done by having savings in bank accounts is you have decided to lose your money and become poor. But every day you have savings, you are poorer. Devaluation and inflation kills your money.
Wow.
You are poorer every day you save. It can never go back to where it was. Whether it's in America or in Europe, every day it's a law of science, law of finance, law of nature. Every day that money is kept idle, it earns small interest rate too. But interest rate earns in any country is lower than inflation and devaluation risk. However, so that means that money over 20 years is lower. Any house you buy, go and take it anywhere. But if you take that money that you are saving up and put it in businesses, in that fashion designer, in that tailor, in anything, split that money. If you have savings, take what you need to pay your bills. Pay your bills, please. The remaining of it, and so what I advise is keep that money, cut your money into three. Take a third for your savings. Take a third to invest in businesses. So a third for your bills, a third look for small businesses. We have 400 million MSMEs on the continent. America has 30, but yet they are 10 times our size because why? They invest in their own MSMEs, angel people, family and friends invest in those businesses. So take a third of your money and invest in small businesses. Then take a last third and invest in your society, in
Wow.
charities, in education. There is no way you can be poor. The secret of having money is to giving it out. Once you give money out, always come back. Once you keep it, it never stays.
Yes, sir.
Never stays. We are nation builders. If so, how do we put it? Each one teach one. Each one adopt a way of putting money, a thought for your bills, a thought for investment into small businesses that you all know that you can add value, that can teach, and a thought for your environment. Because by environment, you are creating a conveyor belt of potential new businesses. By environment, you are creating a world where you can live without being afraid. You are as rich as your neighbor. Your neighbor is poor, you are poor. All of us are living in a cage here on the island or in Ikoyi, where we cross the bridge, we are afraid. You have to hide your bag, hide your jewelry. It's madness. We have to build our own nation. Nobody build it for us. Government can build it for us. It's all the secret of having money is by giving it out. Giving it out in a very wise way. Via investment, via charities. Adopt a school, adopt a hospital, adopt an initiative, invest in the future, and the future will be kind to you. Because if you don't invest in that future, not your own future is deliberative. If you don't invest in that future, you'll be a passenger in that future you have not invested in, then you wish you had.
Wow. Dr. Akintoye. Come on, guys. Each one teach one. Each one teach one. This is a good time to put this to practice. If you have heard anything today from Dr. Akintoye, you have WhatsApp, you have Instagram, you have Facebook. Some of you are on Twitter, you are on YouTube, you are on LinkedIn. Teach somebody. At least start with what you have learned today. Even if it's black is a vibe, put it out there. Make sure you tag us at Center State Tribe because we are reposting everything. We want to know today that we did not waste your time because everyone who said yes to being here took time out of their schedules that are super busy. And I made a promise that we were going to serve you at the highest level. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Akintoye. We're going to release you now, and
Thank
I
you
will
very much.
find a way to get some more questions across through your
No
PA.
problem.
And if we get like a recording, we'll put it out there so those who have more questions can continue to learn from you. If you're not following Dr. Akintoye, please follow. He's quite active on Instagram. That's where I found him. So make sure you find him and just connect with how he's changing the African narrative. Sir, God bless you. Thank you
Thank you so
again for
much.
honoring us. We
Thank you for having
celebrate
me.
you and we
Thank you.
love you so much. Please enjoy the rest of your day.
You
Thank
too.
you
Thank
very
you.
much.